Today we've got an AFC matchup between the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. Getting ready is the kicker Andrew Franks, and we are underway. They come out here in the eye. Here's Matt Forte with his first carry. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. The safety out of Minnesota. Many thought he was nothing more than a number 2 or 3 receiver. He's proven everyone wrong. He's a guy who's a high-volume catcher and a terrific player downfield. Second down, Forte. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. That draw play got blown up by the blitz of the defense. Ordinarily, that's exactly what you want. You want them to blitz, and they go past you, and you go past them for a big gain. But in this situation, they hit him at the worst possible spot, right exactly where you were running the draw, and he got in there and got him. Geno now to throw. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass. And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down. On first down, this is Forte. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Second down following the run. They stay on the ground. Forte again. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. That play never got off the ground because of the defensive front. They owned the offensive line, which allowed the linebackers to see their openings and run straight to the ball. That's why that play just never had a chance. Now Geno. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far. Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question. Now Landry. He juked him. A good return there, 17 yards, and it'll be Dolphin football. On first down, Tannehill. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. Here's Tannehill looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here right around the 27. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one. And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. So the carry that time for Forte, a man who turned 30 last December, Charles.
And he wants to make sure we forget about that with his new team, the New York Jets. But we do know that 30 is the dreaded age for runners.
And Forte, so experienced, more touches than anybody else in the NFL the last 8 years. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Smith on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Here's Smith. That's caught at the 3. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3. To 4 steps and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And this is going to be caught by Smith for a Jet touchdown. Devin Smith there to make the grab, and the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. What a spin. And nowhere to go. He'll make it back only to the 5-yard line.
So many times during the course of a game, Brandon, the special teams actually helps out their offense. Not in this case. They did them 0 favors with that return.
And tough starting field position here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Drops it off to Ajayi. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop zone.
Now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
And New York set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run. Ball very well at all. Gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
Defense sinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Following the interception, just any interception, are you more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the end zone, Tannehill. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd down. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he will get the 1st down as he's up to the 20-yard line.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
You know what I want to do right now while we have a moment? I want to hand out Charles Davis's hardware for top performers week 14.
Okay, if we're going to do that, can we start with Le'Veon Bell with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Sure, Warren.
236 yards on the ground, ended up with 298 overall in the snow in Buffalo, and led his team to a win.
Who else you got? I know you like Vic Beasley's performance for Atlanta.
Well, 3 sacks, including a touchdown after the strip sack. He picked it up and ran it in. And I have to mention Aaron Rodgers. Playing hurt, had a hamstring 2 weeks ago, a calf this week. The Packers are on a nice little run now, pressing for a playoff spot.
And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating 1st half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Ross on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Jets take possession. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Throwing now is Geno. The open man is Smith. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
From the 50, it's Smith. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Kimbrel Tompkins, the intended target. And it's second down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Looking for the speedy Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So now here come the Dolphins. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Well, here in the booth, we have a playoff picture if it ended today, and I'm looking at the AFC to take a quick pivot. Patriots, Chiefs, Raiders, all looking very good. Pass out, a lot of shuffling still could be done.
Well, let's face it, AFC East has been locked down for a lot of years, so we know how that's going to turn out. But let's head out west because Oakland and Kansas City are tied at 10-3. But Kansas City swept the season series, so they have the ultimate tiebreaker right there. And the AFC South, the records may not be pretty, but it's snug there. Houston, Tennessee both tied, and Indianapolis just one game back. He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. To throw is Tannehill. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. Here's Matt Darr now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Yeah, can he put it aside? Let's find out.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
7 yards on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
And able to break one. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Frank's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Here's the Dolphins defense as they head out to set up shop. And the interception the last time, their third takeaway of the game, Charles.
They're just flocking to the football so well. And not only are they doing that, they're making big-time plays and taking it away from them. Big hits, big plays. They're looking very good in this ball game.
You said flocking, flying to the football. Coaches always use that, don't they?
They really do. It's almost as it goes back to the old, when they click off the frame at the end of a play, they want to see all 11 defensive guys in that picture.
Well, a fun league-wide story, no matter who we're covering, is Detroit. Another come-from-behind win for Matthew Stafford and company. They're now 9-4 this year.
How about 13 games? 12 of them they've been behind in the fourth quarter. 9, as you just mentioned, they've won. And Matthew Stafford's the key reason why. He has to be in the discussion for most valuable player, the way he's rallied his team. And I'm going to flip it over. There's one other guy we've got to talk about from the AFC side.
Down after a loss of 1.
This guy carrying the ball, your eyes are going to direct your feet, and you're hoping they carry you to the open spaces. But it's awfully difficult at times because you have so many things you have to look out for. Where's the line blocking? Where's the traffic coming from? Tough to find open spots.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. Here's Jarvis Landry now on the return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now. Here comes the Jet defense. They look good in the first half. They'll be looking to carry that momentum over into half number 2.
Finish a game the way you started it. That's typically the message at halftime when things are going well. You've done everything you're expected to do. How about a little bit more of that in the second half? But be aware they may throw something different at you to begin things.
Yeah, 50% of the equation still left to go. Charles, a lot of off-air talk between us about the playoff picture, and obviously Patriots well on their way there again, but they'll have to do it this year without Rob Gronkowski. Of course, the Madden cover boy injured. Maybe some talk of a Madden curse. I don't know.
You know, it's so funny when we talk about that. If you go back through the time, a lot of guys had big years after being on the cover of Madden. You know, I know Richard Sherman and the Seahawks went to a Super Bowl the year that he was on there.
OBJ had a good year last year.
Yeah, so listen, you and I both know Gronk. There's no way he sees it as a curse. He sees it as a challenge and to work his way back.
And we certainly wish him well in his recovery. And this is going to be incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and that brings up 4th down. Some pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Some runs are blocked so well. Offensive line to create space up front. Really well done.
Now a run with Forte. And he's going to lose yards.